be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
All right, with the 24th conference going on right now in Abuja, we've been looking at some of the things that would be discussed in this economic forum, and as well as how much this will affect the life of Nigerians. And of course, I think it's very, very important at this point having an entrepreneur and public affairs analyst joining us, Gbenga. Good morning. Thanks for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's good to be here.
Absolutely.
Fantastic facility you guys have here.
Wow,
thank you very much. The World Economic Forum, especially, is being hosted by Nigeria, the largest economist in Africa. Do you think it's timely, or do you think it's coming a little late?
To be very honest with you, because of the ineptitude of those who rule us, we are celebrating what ought to be ours by virtue of the size of our economy and by virtue of the entrepreneurial drive of Nigerians. They're celebrating it because, come to think of it, once you've been a failure before, or you persistently fail, if you get a mark that puts you in the average stratum of the class, you'll be celebrating. But Nigeria deserves better. It's just the ineptitude of our leadership, especially at the national level, and has made us to be celebrating this kind of... it has consistently been done in South Africa, and let's be very honest with ourselves. Whilst we were in England, as a broadcaster in England, I used to say in those days that if the black economy of Nigeria were to be acknowledged by any reputable this thing, Nigeria's economy should not be juxtaposed with the South African economy. We are too... Look, I was in the gap, and some things that some of our leaders do, they just they make us to be seen as commercial Lilliputs. When people were celebrating Obasanjo for giving us mobile phone, and as a journalist practicing in Europe, then I would go to Gambia. Gambia was not the size of Mushin local government where I was born. And Gambia had that was about 10, 11 years ago. Gambia had three mobile telephony companies.
And considering the security situation in the country, as it were, and we're having this World Economic Forum, do you think we should we should be clapping for ourselves at this point?
My sister, it is not yet Uhuru, but the truth be told, I was in England about 2 weeks ago, and I was on a TV platform across Europe. And you see, a TV platform that engages with the African and Afro-Caribbean communities. And I said, you know what? Nigeria is a very big country. There may be problems in some parts, but if you are listening to me, as a former diasporian who has returned to this economy and who is doing well, don't be discouraged by the news you're hearing. Look, my sister, let's be very honest with ourselves. There hasn't been bombing in Lagos. We had one about...
Thank God.
Thank God. We had one about, say, 3 years ago, around the first attack or whatever, when we never knew what caused that, but it was not claimed by Boko Haram. Some Boko Haram elements were nipped between Jora and Badia. Okay, that was about a year ago.
Yes.
But as we speak now, madam, the economy of the state of Lagos, and I'm not saying Lagos State, the economy of the state of Lagos is about the size of the economies of 7 countries to the westward arm of West Africa, if you remove Ghana. This is a powerful economy to play with. So because there is bombing in Borno, 1,200 nautical miles away from Lagos, Shama, are we going to be grounded in Lagos? My sister?
Or take for Parkers, for instance. In spite of all the
bombing and
kidnapping and
whatever,
the economy of that state is booming in River State.
My dear Egbon, please give me a backhand if I'm misjiving here. Look, the crime rate in Johannesburg, I would rather walk midnight from Mushi to Osodi, literally, than Bishop Ford in some parts of Joburg. The crime rate is preposterous.
Worse than Nigeria.
One of the most dangerous cities on the face of the earth. And because of the articulate tourism packages and campaign of the South African Tourism Authority, the white people are going there in droves.
Irrespective of that level of
Criminality.
criminality.
So, sister, it is how you package your thing. We are here to stay.
All right, this year's World Economic Forum that is taking place in Abuja, the theme is forging inclusive growth and of course creating jobs. Very, very important for Nigerians. We have a lot of people that have been out of universities but not been able to get jobs. Other than this, what else would you expect for a topic of discussion in this forum?
I think my take now, as somebody who was formerly in the world of economic and political reportage, on a global level, and somebody who now practices in Nigeria as an entrepreneur, my take is that it is good that we are using the opportunity of the World Economic Forum Africa being held here to further espouse the potentials of the Nigerian economy for foreign investors. But some strategic things must be done and be done well within. My sister, your station, this new station,
Core TV News.
Core TV News, is still, as we speak now, is literally situated in a newly developing area of Lagos, or mega Lagos City, because the governor of Ogun State and the people of Ogun State may be offended that I'm calling this place Lagos. But this is part of the Lagos mega city. Now, you will be surprised that most of the constructions you see around you here, and most of the basic things you see being done construction-wise, they are going to Togo and Benin Republic to go and bring boys to do them. So we have to get our fundamentals right, get our technical schools sharpened, make sure that our machines can build straight walls. Our boys, when they lay ties, the ties will not be fighting against themselves as though we are watching, a boxing match. Let's go back to the basics. The Lagos State government is encouraging people to take to agriculture. I have a farm in Badagry, 5-hectare vegetable farm. We will literally have to be going from street to street begging people to take up employment. And some boys are complaining that they are unemployed. But they would rather come in front of the farm once they see my SUV parked in the farm. They would rather come in front of the farm to come and be begging me for money.
Now,
I don't give cheap money around.
That's a very big concern. Now, how would you say this conference will benefit an ordinary Nigerians on the street?
You see, inevitably, when you espouse those things that you have as a positive for your life, when others engage with you, the people at the top may benefit more, but the trickle-down effect is almost inevitable.
In a case like Nigeria,
let me give you a very graphical illustration.
The man on the street is always left behind.
We have a wrong perception in this part of the world that it's only the government that can solve the problem of unemployment or job creation. The truth be told, my sister, the strategic, sustainable way to solve the problem of unemployment and job creation should be between people like us. Although you are a presenter, but my sister, somebody has to make up your face.
Sure.
Somebody has to package your script for you. You have been trained to do the presentation, to articulate points together, but somebody also has to sew this beautiful jacket you're wearing. That is the manner, method, way through jobs are created. If we are waiting for the Lagos State government or the Ogun State government to employ everybody here, we wouldn't have had jobs this morning, all of us in here, because I see these wonderful cameramen working their behinds off, getting an ugly face like me beautiful. because they are trained and have a marketable skill set.
Let me take you back to security. You did say that, yes, irrespective of the fact that we have bombings in Abuja, it shouldn't affect the we celebrating the World Economic Summit. Now, Abuja, they're virtually...
I don't like the word celebrate, though. I just like the fact that we are hosting it.
Okay.
We don't deserve to celebrate because, you know, like I said earlier,
it's our right.
Our leaders are, you know, our national leaders are laggards in some respect, intellectually backward, and you see... they may seem to be celebrating it, but those of us who know the potentials of Nigeria know, you know, that you eventually gave me the land of my father that you were usurping before. Why should I be celebrating?
So now, Abuja, there will be like... of course.
It's meant for you.
They're on holidays now. How is that going to, as an investor, how is that going to affect...
They are not on holidays, they are in lockdown.
Oh, well, holidays.
They are in lockdown.
How is it going to affect
they are in lockdown
every
because,
business.
like, you know, we go back to the ineptitude. My sister, I know you know the meaning of ineptitude, but let me try and explain it to those who are watching us at home. When you say people are inept, you are basically saying that they just do it slap, you know, like Alawa da Keri style, you know, slap dash. They're not coordinated. Look at the phone. The world is looking at us now. The emphasis of international media organizations should have been the potentials of Nigeria. But what are they talking about, my sister? My brother, what are they talking about? They are talking about
the knockdown.
Bring back our girls.
Yes. Everybody's talking bring back our girls.
You see ordinary CNN reporters talking down on our leaders.
So are you saying this security level has overtaken the World Economic Forum?
Oh, no.
Should it not? Would it not?
280.
Is it not?
280 children. OTP money? Sorry, my brother. He's a mushy boy. You know, as polished as I'm trying to be, sometimes my mushy primordial instincts take over me. It's not easy. Even, you know, before leaving the hotel where I slept this morning, I was watching President Obama on CNN, and he was saying what any rational, sensible parent should say. 280. They abducted 8 more yesterday. So it's
11 more.
It's almost like a laissez-faire in that area.
Now,
we supposedly have a state of emergency.
Before you came on set, we were discussing the financial market development, which is one of the pillars that will be discussed at the World Economic Forum. And we did say that it's thriving as it has to do with our stocks and the rest. Do you agree?
My sister, don't be too microscopic in your analysis. You have to look at it through an expansive period of time. As you know, permit me to say, you may not believe it looking at this man who looks more like a garage operator, a Muslim garage operator. I used to be in a position where in Europe, and I used to encourage people in our diaspora to invest in the Nigerian capital market because it had a lot of potential. And I put a lot of my money too there. You know, had almost 30 million naira in the Nigerian capital market. But to be very honest with you, the core problem of, no, don't let me use core media because I don't call, so that I don't want to offend people. The central problem also has been problem of governance, misgovernance. When you say governance, when one says governance, what does one mean? We put a lot of money in the market, and the people who were supposed to watch the ball were conniving with the players. And some bank chieftains were allowed to be playing yo-yo with our money. And as I'm talking to you now, one of the regrets I tend to have when I drive in the direction of where your facility is, when they were buying Mowe Ibafu for 150,000 naira per plot.
I didn't buy.
I
used more than the money.
I had a friend who would say, Bola, buy land, this land. I said, no. I was putting my own money in the capital market. If I had put my money, even if I had bought then, imagine what almost 30 million could have bought in the Mowe Ibafo stretch. If they are taking half, I will still be.
As an investor, what do you think this forum should be addressing as it concerns this?
As we speak now, the potentials of Nigeria will be espoused to potential foreign direct investors, to potential investors in our capital market. But you know what? They're not stupid, and they're not as sentimental or as nationalistic as we were when we were putting money in the capital market. They will also look at some parameters beyond the immediate gains they are seeing. And one of the core and strategic factors they will look at will be the issue of governance. As we speak now, you being a reporter or you being presenters, can you put your money in the capital market where there is a brouhaha between the legislature, the national legislature, the headship of the capital market, and indeed the presidency, and there does not seem to be symmetry. But every market likes stability and predictability. What we have.
If no stability in the market, there's no nation.
And
Let's quickly look at one more pillar, which is the 9th pillar, and that's technological readiness. Are we up to it?
Should we? Technological?
You see, there are two ways to look at the very valid point you want to touch here. Do we have the human capital element to engage with most technological opportunities? Yes, we do. Because if you go anywhere in the world, inclusive of NASA and whatever, you have Nigerians functioning in those reputable and you see high scientific and technologically distinct organizations. But as we speak, ineptitude again. The people.
You sure like the word.
All right.
Because of our time, we've enjoyed having you here on the station, and we hope you're going to come soon, irrespective, because this issue of economic gains for Nigeria. Yes, I mean, some people, you colonize me and you tell me I should be celebrating you're getting away. Now you're coming back to want to invest in my life. Why not? There's so much to do. There's so much to gain with this forum. And we hope when next we call on you, you will oblige us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm quite grateful, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, that's our program for today. And of course, gift to Ogette. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brownson, for helping out. That's what I'll say.
As well as our own Seyi Martins. And it's been a good day. And just yesterday, the Super Eagles head coach released a list of 30-man squad for the World Cup. But because of our time, we may not be able to, we won't be able to look at the list. But good to know that Joseph Yobo has been called back. And of course, Osaze Odemwegi, the whipping boy of the Super Eagles, is back. But Ike Uche missing. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at it. My name is Brownson Unwana on behalf of our production crew. Have a wonderful day.
And I am Gift Ogette. Thank you for watching.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
I see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News. I don't think the election was actually...
What are the people saying?
5 local government out of the 30 local government is more